Hi guys, thanks for watching. I apologize that it's taken me a while to get more content up. I'd planned to do more sooner, but I had a really busy stretch there. I promise I will get more up in the very near future. I had hoped to do a video today to talk about the benefits of drinking more water if you're not already, and I'll do that one next. But for today, I just wanted to expand on some things that came up from the last video that I did on intermittent fasting. And I'll try and put a link to it up here somewhere. I can probably figure that out. If you haven't seen it already, you can check that out first and come back. But it was great. There's a great response. A lot of people liked and shared and subscribed, and thank you everyone who did. There was a lot of great questions and comments, and I tried to answer as many questions as I could and respond to as many of the comments as I could, and it was a lot of fun. A common theme in a lot of the questions and comments was people trying to figure out how to make the eating windows fit their schedule or their lifestyle. And I know that can be a bit of a challenge. I spoke mostly about 16 and 8 because that's the protocol that I follow. And as I mentioned, I only chose that one because it fit my lifestyle and fit my schedule best. There's several other types of intermittent fasting, and they can all be very effective and beneficial. As I say, I spoke about 16 and 8 primarily because that's the one that I'm more familiar with, and I prefer to talk about stuff that I kind of am familiar with. I think that intermittent fasting is best if it's approached as an eating system for a healthy lifestyle, as opposed to just a weight loss tool. And it works as that. And I know some people, they'll start intermittent fasting just as a way to lose weight, and they might reach their target weight or their goal weight, and then they'll go back to the way they were eating before. I think a lot of them might continue on with IF just because they realize how simple and effective it can be. But 16 and 8, like I say, it can be a bit of a challenge if you have a really weird schedule with work and life, or maybe it's kids and work life and exercise, and I understand that there are challenges. So some people I know commented that they like to work out very early in the morning, but they might work a 4 to midnight shift. They want to get the protein in after their workout, but if they start their eating window then they're not eating the whole time they're at work. And as and some people I know also they do shift work, so they might do a month of days and then they do a month of night shift, and so you have to adjust your eating window to one that's suitable for whatever your work shift is or your life is. So I'm going to try and address a couple of those as best I can. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about the 5 and 2 protocol, because I did do that one before, and it was very effective and very good. And I could recommend it to anyone. Like I say, I went 16 and 8. It suited me. But I'll talk a little bit about 5 and 2 because I know for some folks that would just make more sense. And you'll sort of understand why near the end. So for folks who are on intermittent fasting long term, like you've adopted it as part of your lifestyle, if you do that, then you'll realize that if you have a day where life just throws you a curveball and you have to adjust, you'll realize that if that happens, it's okay. You just do that. Maybe your eating windows get all messed up. It'll happen. Pick up with your regular window the next day and carry on. And it's not going to throw your system into turmoil. It's not going to, cause you to lose all of your benefits. It's just a glitch in the matrix, and those things happen. Accept that they will, and don't sweat it. And so, for example, like maybe your eating window is 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. You get called to, a lunch meeting, and it feels really awkward if everyone's there having lunch and you're sitting there drinking coffee. So you're going to want to have lunch. Do it. And don't worry about it. Pick it up the next day and move on. Just try not to make a habit of it. If it happens, once every week or 2 or 3, whatever, it's no big deal. So really don't worry about it. If you work shift work, it can be a bit of a challenge because, like I was saying, maybe you do a a month of day shifts and maybe then you switch to a month of night shifts. If that's the situation, there's a couple of ways to approach it. You can plan ahead. So you know that night shifts are coming up at the end of the month. So a few days or more than a few days ahead of that, you start bumping your eating window, a bit later, 1 or 2 hours per day. And then by the time night shifts roll around, you've moved into, an eating window that's a lot more suitable for night shift. And then you kind of do the reverse, or, something similar when day shifts come along. The other option is, if you know that at the end of the month you're moving from days to night shifts, you just accept that day is going to be messed up, and and then you adopt an eating window that's a lot more suitable to your night shift schedule, and that's perfectly fine, really. Another problem with intermittent fasting is for people who travel with work. And I understand that it can be really challenging, especially if you're jumping through time zones. It can be hectic, and it can get really complicated. Intermittent fasting when you're traveling is great if you're traveling within the same time zone. Like my wife and I, for example, went to Costa Rica for a couple of weeks, and it was awesome. We would get up in the morning, we'd grab a good cup of coffee, we'd go on about our day, we'd do sightseeing and hit the beach or whatever. Her eating window's a little earlier than mine, so she might grab a smoothie in the afternoon, and then we'd go have a nice meal or make a nice meal. And we'd always have some stuff around where we were staying, so if we wanted to make snacks, afterwards we could. And like I say, if you're traveling through time zones and you don't have any time in the other time zone to adjust your schedule, that's when it can be tricky. It's bad enough if you're going East Coast to West Coast back and forth. It's much worse if you're going continent to continent, because then it just throws everything into a mess. So in situations like that, you might be more inclined to look into the 5 and 2 protocol. And that was the one that I'd mentioned in the last video, and I attached the link to it. I'll reattach the link in the comments section or in the description below, so you can check it out. And that's the one that was developed by the British physician, and it's brilliant in its simplicity. 16 and 8 is very simple too. But if people have weird schedules, then this might be, the one that's right for you. So you can watch the documentary linked below if you want a more detailed explanation of 5 and 2. In a nutshell, what you're going to want to do is take a week, say between Sunday and Saturday, and pick 2 non-consecutive days of that week. And on those days, men will consume 600 calories or less. Women will consume 500 calories or less. And that's all you do. You still see the same short and long-term benefits. You still have the increased growth hormone, the improved insulin sensitivity, the weight loss or weight maintenance. All of those things you'll still see the results. And the other nice thing that's nice with the 5 and 2 is the flexibility. Because say, you've chosen Monday and Thursday as your fasting days or your low-cal days this week. Maybe next week, Tuesday and Friday works best. And you can do that. You can adjust your low-cal / fasting days as you go. And it's nice too, because if, maybe you've chosen Monday and Thursday this week, but you find out that a friend's coming to town on Thursday and you want to go out for dinner. Well, you just make Wednesday your fasting day. Or if it's a short notice and you end up going out for dinner and that ruins your fasting day, low-cal day, then you just fast on Friday. And it's handy for people who travel, because maybe you want to make your travel day your fast day. So that simplifies things. Or perhaps you want to make a really busy day where you've got a whole lot of meetings scheduled. You make that your low-cal / fast day. And that might fit your schedule better. Also, for people who are the ones who work out early, they want to get their protein in, they're worried about consuming enough calories in a day for to build muscle or maintain muscle. You could make your rest days your low-cal fasting days. So there's all those different options. So it's a really, it's a really good thing to consider if those challenges apply to you. So look into it. As with all of them, like I always say, like there's lots of different types. They're all great. It's just finding the one that suits your life and your schedule best. And that's kind of all I was going to chat about today. So thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I will answer and reply as much as I can. Please do the like and subscribe thing and all of that, and I'll try to have more content coming shortly. I apologize if I was like sniffling a little bit. I think it's like an allergy thing going on, so I'm sorry if that was annoying, but hopefully that goes away quickly. Anyway, yeah, again, thanks very much for watching. Appreciate it. Have a great day.